bienvenidos una vez más a una sección más de entrevista con el Pana, inventando con los Panas, entrevista con el Pana. Dímelo, OJ Marina, ¿qué es la que hay?
Oye, buenas noches, bienvenido, ¿verdad? Otra vez más en horario especial, ¿verdad? Un programa especial de Inventando con los Panas, entrevista al Pana, bien emocionados con un gran jugador que ha representado los colores de Puerto Rico, que ha lucido en el baloncesto local. Bueno, tú dices que ha tenido una gran carrera de baloncesto, ¿verdad, George?
Efectivamente, estamos honrados con la presencia, oye, no solamente de tener a Puerto Rico, sino que fue un montano All American y estuvo batallándose y luciendo con grandes nombres de la NBA que actualmente están. Un chamaco, brother, que donde cada vez que entra a la cancha es un problema para la oposición, la mete, la drivea, la pasa, defensivamente hace el trabajo, mano, le queda muchísima gasolina en el tanque. Es uno de nuestros enemigos del baloncesto superior nacional, pero hoy es para, así que
uno de los pocos jugadores de los Piratas de Quebradilla que a mí me gusta ver jugar, de verdad, te lo tengo que decir porque me gusta verlo jugar.
Nos honra con su presencia. He's enjoying it right here with us. Welcome, Mike Rosario. Mike, welcome here, my man.
Hi, Mike.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be with us. We are honored. We feel honored that you give us you spend some time with us. You know that, like I always say to all you and the people that are watching us, there's only one thing like that is more precious than money, and that is time. You know,
Yeah.
there's no money in the world that can buy time, and when a person gives you the time to spend some time with you, like today, like what you do, man, we feel honored. We feel honored.
And thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for your time.
I feel very honored. As I said in Spanish in the introduction, you are one of the few players in the Piratas de Quebradilla that I like to watch playing basketball because I like your game. So let's have fun tonight. It's an honor for us to have you here.
Thank you.
We got people over there in the chat, Mike. Well, this is the thing. We both of us are gonna make you some questions, but like you can see, we're live and we got all over our fans and the people that follow us. Maybe some of them will make you a question if it's okay with you, and you feel free to answer them. If you're not, it's okay. Just enjoy the day and have some fun. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Orlando, are you ready for this?
Sí. Sí, era por ahí, ¿verdad? Primero, saludo a Frankie Santiago, nuestro hermano, ¿verdad? Que está por allá en Texas, ¿verdad? Saluditos por allá, Frankie, un abrazo y gracias por estar por ahí.
Sí, un abrazo y un saludo a todos por ahí, que entren y compartan, ¿verdad? Por ahí vamos a pasarla bien. Let's have some fun, Mike. And we start like Mike Rosario, you were born on November 2, 1990, right? 30 years old, from Jersey.
Scorpio.
From Jersey. Yeah. Here it is, Mike. When did you start playing basketball, man?
Oh, I started playing basketball.
Like the very first time that you started playing, you fall in love with the game, you know? Because back in the States, you guys can play a bunch of sports, baseball, football, basketball, you name it. But what was the time that you fall in love with the game that you started playing there?
I'll say around 5, 6 years old. I'll say like around 5, 6 years old was the first time I actually picked up a basketball and I was throwing it around and, you know, until I started to notice, you know, you can shoot it in the basket at 6, 7 years old. And I started to see Michael Jordan around 8, around 7, 8, 9. So that's what really transpired me to really play basketball.
Awesome. Well, yeah.
Nice. Okay, let's see. Tell us about the traveling teams that you play and your high school years.
The traveling teams.
Let's say that you started playing at a young age, but probably it's a probability you started playing like organized basketball and then with the traveling teams and
first
middle school and then high school, all the process that come with it.
Okay, so in the beginning, from 9 to 12, I want to say it was nothing but camp. It was camps in AAU basketball, which we play. They pick 12 to 14 guys who are the best in the city, and then they put those teams together, and then they travel amongst different cities and different states to let us play against other talent. So that's when I really started to branch out to play against different people, like around 9 through 12, going on to 15, doing AAU basketball.
Okay. So you started playing like after that, like in high school, like you play first. You started playing organized basketball in middle school, then you play in high school.
Yeah, organized basketball started for me around 12 years old, 13 years old, and then once I realized, the part of the organized basketball and the high school coach that I wanted to play for that has that organized, structure with Coach Bob Hurley. That was
Oh,
that,
you
that
play
was the
football
high,
early.
that was the high school that I chose to go to
Wow.
because I knew it was the same pattern of what I was following, which
You got
was
and you got
me
great success
competing
over
against
there.
competition. Huh?
Got great success over there too. Actually,
Yeah, yeah,
in this season you went 32 and all, right?
yeah. My
Wow.
senior year, we went 32-0.
Wow, wow, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Number
That's
one in
great.
the country, number one in the state.
You won the state championship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ooh. Wow. Awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I'm gonna give you some names. I mean, you're gonna hear some names now. You're gonna tell me all about it, about them. And the thing is that you went to the McDonald's All American game in 2008, right?
Yeah.
Tell you some names, and you will. And after that, you will speak about it. Brandon Jennings, Tyreek Evans, Willie Warren, Drew Holiday, Chris Singleton, Tyler Seller, Samardo Samuels, Larry Drew, DeMar DeRozan, B.J. Mullins, Anthony Smith, Kemba Walker, Al Farouk Aminu, Malcolm Lee, Scotty Hobson, Elliot Williams, Ed Davis, Jermichael Green, Greg Monroe, Luke Babbitt, Willie Buford, Iman Shumpert, and Michael Dunnigan. And of
Wow.
course yourself. What does all those guys have in common, man?
Wow. That list is just all those guys just work really hard. All those guys, they work really hard. They're extremely talented. And that was the first time I realized, the top talent in the world. And they all just, they want to be great. They don't want to be good. They want to be great. And that was the one thing that I realized when I entered the McDonald's All American game and I started to just watch how those guys talk, how they move, how their professionalism, like all that stuff we're 17, 18 years old. So for them to have that, at a very high level, that's what really, I was like, wow, man, I'm here with a lot of good people.
Yeah, almost all of them at least have like me a cup of coffee at the NBA level, like they say. But most of them, yeah, and you were playing with those kind of people. And here's the thing, you you killed them at the McDonald's. You
Yeah.
scored 18 points in like 19 minutes over there. Talk
Yeah.
us about a little bit about that game. What you can recall about that game and that experience that you had in that game.
Um, that game for me, that was the best experience in my life, to be honest. I never thought or believed that I'll be a McDonald's All American, number one. And I used to watch it on TV, Carmelo, LeBron, all these guys went through Derrick Rose, all these guys went through the McDonald's stage. I never thought I would be in that position because I had 6 other D1 guys that was just as good as me in high school.
Wow.
On my team,
Who those guys play with you? Your teammates?
Trayvon Woodall, Gio Fontaine,
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Alberto Estwick, AJ Rogers, Tyson Taylor, and
Taylor.
Dominic Peaks.
Wow.
wow.
You got pretty good company over there too.
Yeah, sure. It was some company in practice for sure. But from me just getting the invite and me just having that opportunity, changed my whole aspect of everything. Me being at that high level and playing at that high stage with those guys. That's the most like biggest experience. I remember just doing interviews with these guys, having separate conversations, with guys from the West Side team like Brandon, Drew Holiday, all these guys getting haircuts together. It was just like good to be in the atmosphere, and I just was soaking up the experience, you know what I mean?
Wow.
But what was
Nice.
that? Talk us about that.
Let's not forget though, Kimber Walker was my roommate, baby. Shout out to Kimber
Oh yeah.
Walker.
Oh, good,
Nice.
good. Now I see why you're rooting for Boston. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's an extra push right there.
But how was that experience in the game? Talk us about dressing up, getting ready for the game, and then They jump the ball, and it's about game time, baby.
I had butterflies. I had butterflies before the game, before we even got to the gym, because I was like, this is it. The lights is on. It's time to perform. And I'm playing against the best guys in the world right now in my class. So this is what I asked for, and I received it. So I just, going into that game, I was a little bit nervous. My palms were sweating. I was, just thinking of just playing well and just doing well and just showing them that I belong there, It just wasn't a pick that they just picked. And that was the biggest challenge for me. And once I, got in the layup line and made a few layups, the butterflies had went away. And the next best experience about that, we got a chance to see a couple NBA guys at the time, which one of them was Alonzo Mourning.
Awesome.
And that right there just struck me a long way because I was like, wow, he's right here next to me while I'm warming up in layups. So it just made me feel much more comfortable of me just knowing that I belong there and just have fun.
Awesome.
Nice, nice.
You got it, OJ.
Okay. How was the transition from high school basketball to college? What things would you change? If anyone.
The transition from high school basketball to college basketball, it's very tough because now you're responsible for everything you do. You don't have anyone, taking you to practice or walking you to practice or taking you to class. So this is where you have to come individually, disciplined, professional, and just understand that, all these next decisions that you're making going into college is based on you. You have to make these decisions. So that was the biggest jump for me, going from high school to college, just knowing that, I had a lot of free time now. So I had to use my free time wisely, being in the gym, doing extra work, watching extra film, just the little things to just get me over that hump. So that's the message that I would give to the guys that's coming out of high school, going into college. Just prepare themselves for a working environment, to be disciplined. I'm not saying don't have fun in college. There's time, place to have fun, but you gotta, handle your business, and that's being on time, being disciplined, and really working to your perfection at its highest level.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, Mike, after that, like OJ said, now you out of high school, you got recruited and you went to Rutgers University, right?
Yeah,
Right. You were in Rutgers, you're a freshman and sophomore year, but something happened there. Something happened that you transferred to Florida.
yeah.
What happened there at Rutgers? And the it was worth it that transition, like to transfer from Rutgers to Florida. And talk us about your experience playing for Billy Donovan in Florida.
My experience at Rutgers was great. I actually would never regret going there. I just felt that there were a lot of things that I still needed to work on as far as off the court. So the basketball situation was fine for me. It just was my focus level wasn't at its all-time high. Performing, I was okay, but that wasn't um, the type of world I was asking for at the time because I wanted to be in a structured environment and just to be pushed a little bit more. And I felt like with that decision that I made, and it wasn't nothing personal to Rutgers, it was a personal decision for myself and for me to just be a better player and be a better person. And so I just felt that, that was the best decision for me to make at the time, as far as basketball wise and, you know, being disciplined and being in a structured environment. That's what I needed the most at the time. And, leaving Rutgers, definitely, it was a big decision for me and it was a hard decision. It was a really hard decision, but, I wouldn't change it for anything. And once I arrived to Florida, Florida just was a whole. It was like one of the best decisions I can say that I made because it built me into the person that I am today, and more of a leader, more professional, more disciplined, just all the things that come with being a great player. And I felt like being under Billy Donovan, I was gonna learn every bit of that. So that was the big decision for me to go there, and I really, really, really do not regret that decision.
Okay.
We interview, actually, it was one of the first interviews that we did here in our show. We interviewed Walter Hodge. Walter played for Billy Donovan too.
Shout out to
And he
Walt, and that's big bro.
yeah. And he told us that Billy Donovan was a very straight up coach. Like
Yeah,
he will tell you, he will support you, but he will tell you just like it is, and he will take the best out of you.
yeah.
But what's your experience with him?
My experience was great. I felt that me and Coach we collided eye to eye before I even got there, like before I even signed to even transfer. And his biggest thing was with me was just me being more disciplined and being in the gym more. And now that I have this structured environment, now I can really, get myself to the player that I want to be. And that was the biggest thing with me and him. He just was coaching me basically on that professional side and being disciplined and just wanting more and pushing myself over the limit. So that's one thing that I love about Coach Billy. And he the one thing too that I enjoyed most about him too, just his interaction with the players, the off the court and on the court. Like he was so down to earth and just professional at the end of the day, and you just want the best for you, no matter if it's you going to the NBA or you finishing college and graduating with a degree and going off to be great in the world. His biggest thing is he wants you to just be great and be a great person, and I respect that more than anything.
Okay.
Awesome,
Nice.
awesome. You got it, OJ.
Okay. So in 2013, you finished college and entered the Baloncesto Superior Nacional draft, selected by Ponce. How was this transition from college to pro?
Oh, That transition for me was a little bit hard in the beginning because, you know, I was coming from a winning team and playing a lot. So, you know, my first experience, my first year with Ponce was it was great, and it showed me that, you know, I had to going into my professional career as a rookie, and this is for all the rookies that's going into their professional careers. You can't expect anything because this is like a new start for you. So you got to work yourself into the system. And that was the main thing that I had to learn once I got to Ponce. And after I figured that part out, it was great. It was great.
Okay.
Awesome. That's great. Ponce is a great place to play. It's a great
And to speak on that again, OJ, Ponce was definitely, and I would say this on record, this was a city that the fans, I appreciate them so much. I appreciate what they've given me, what I have given them. You know, those 3 years that I was there, it was special to me personally. You know, and I just want to thank them on the record because they definitely did a great job of supporting us, and through the bad and good, like they always was there, and it made us push even harder to win for the city and do it 2 times instead of once. So that was the moment of joy for me. Was, you know, those 3 years being in Ponce was definitely a great start of my career here in Puerto Rico.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. That people say, you know, hopefully you know this guy. You know who Paul Stoll is, right?
Say that again.
Paul Stoll.
Yeah, from my
saludos, my guy. He's saying hi to everybody here. And
that's my guy. Tell Paul I said hello. Paul, what's up, Paul?
Yeah, he's gonna be in PR next week, I guess, for the for the FIBA thing. And they say, but it's Guimel, he's part of
it's a game.
Yeah, he's part of us here. He said, "Yo, Mike, what shoes you like to use the most on the court?" That's a question that he's asking you.
The Kobe's.
Kobe fan for playing.
Yeah, Kobe's.
Okay. But because you're a fan of Kobe, or because it's the more comfortable sneakers that you have?
No. Michael Jordan and Kobe, and then Ray Allen.
Oh
yeah. I can't forget about Ray Allen.
Well, I was told by some of the fellas that I mean, I'm older than you, and when I used to play, like they don't have the Kobe's actually, but they say that the Kobe's are one of the most comfortable shoes to play with.
I agree. I'm a low top sneaker guy. I like my lows. I like to wear lows. So once I figured out, after I wore a couple Kobe's, that was my shoe.
Paul saying yes, sir. Say yes, sir, and say always Kobe.
always.
He's a Kobe guy, yeah. Well, Mike, now we're going to 2014, right? After the first season in Ponce, you signed your first contract to go to Europe, right? To Poland.
Yeah.
Now you play in college. You play in Puerto Rico. Now you go to Europe, to Poland. And it's a different thing. It should be different because you're going to the other part of the continent. What was that experience? And basketball-wise, how different it was college than Puerto Rico, who is more like an American style of basketball, and then going to Poland? Like, what was the difference between all of them?
The difference between, you know, college, Puerto Rico, and then Poland Poland was more structured, more professional, more physical. You practice sometimes 6 to 5 times, you know, out of the week, and 2 times a day sometimes. So that was another challenge for me And going into my rookie season in Poland, I would say it was tough. It was tough, you know, being away from home, and you know, I didn't understand at that moment the the sacrifices that I was gonna have to be making, and I wasn't really mature at that moment as far as being professional and knowing that, you know, I'm 8 months away, but learning how to deal with the different atmosphere, the different culture, that was a little bit tough for me. So, you know, other than that, it was a great experience. I definitely enjoyed the competition. The competition was definitely great. We played against, you know, a couple guys that was there that season. Actually, Trevor Rutherford was my point guard from Alabama, and we got a chance to play against Chris Wright, also that just came. I think he just came back down from the NBA at the time. But I would say, you know, just the flip flop from, you know, Puerto Rico basketball to Europe basketball, it's somewhat similar, but we just have more free time on the island. Over there, it's more strict. It's more practicing. It's more, you know, weightlifting, and you doing these things, you know, 2 times a day, 6 times, you know, 6 days out of the week, and have one game maybe Friday or Saturday. So that was the tough challenge, you know, for me, and I felt that, you know, I had to go through that to realize, you know, everything, and, you know, get me prepared for what's coming next right now.
Okay. Awesome. Oh yeah, you got it, bro.
Okay, so you became an established player at Baloncesto Superior Nacional and earned a spot in the national team. Tell us about the experience representing Puerto Rico.
Oh man, wow, that was one of the dream come true for me. You know, I always, you know, I remember the day at 18, 19, I think I was 18, 19 years old, when Puerto Rico first reached out to me, and they came to New York to meet with me. And I never forget that moment when, you know, I got offered to come play in Puerto Rico and represent, you know, not just, you know, a city, an island. And it just meant so much to me to just put the colors on and to represent Puerto Rico. And I felt like when I first came and I got a chance to put that jersey on and see my Rosario on the back, I was like, wow, man, like this is real. And once I understood, you know, this privilege of putting this jersey on and even getting your last name on the back, and how important, you know, this is for the people here in Puerto Rico, it just made me want to just, you know, take us to another level. Especially me coming in being young and no one ever seen me play before. That was just the biggest goal for me, is to make my mark.
Nice stuff. That's awesome.
And I thought I did a good job by giving them 54 points in New Zealand with the 19th under. So that's how I really, you know, started my mark here in Puerto Rico, and let everybody know I was here.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. That should be like a great experience that somebody like give you a chance to represent your country. You know, even though you never live in the island, but we speak out of everything about Puerto Rico. So getting here and giving a chance to play would be a great experience and a great achievement.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, so far you have an illustrious career, right? And but there are things that are missing. Like for one instance, and if you like to ask, if you like to answer the question, you can. If you're not, it's up to you. But Mike Rosario play played against the top players in top competition, and like I told you before, you killed them. Why is not Mike Rosario in the NBA or got to the NBA? Why? What happened? And down the road, if you can recall, what things you did that you shouldn't do, or you wanted to do or didn't do? What happened along the road? Because you know that you were as good as those guys because you play against them and you killed them. Like you killed them fair and square. It's nothing that it's not like you went there and scored some 2 or 4 points in garbage time, something like that. No, 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 no. You killed them at playing at top minutes. You know what happened there?
I felt that at the time with my decision, with me coming to Puerto Rico in the beginning of my career, it was mainly, to put myself in position to help my family right away. So I never really, really synced into that the NBA workouts or whatever NBA offers I had got at the time. I never really looked into them because I knew, okay, Puerto Rico is putting this on the table for me, and I can go straight to Puerto Rico right now and make money and take care of my family. Yeah. So that was my biggest decision that I had to make.
Okay.
And once I made that decision, along the way, of course, I still was working to get to that point, and I'm still is working there because everyone has a different path. I just felt that my path was different, and I had to make a decision, which was a sacrifice that I had to make. But I can live with it because I'm still working to that moment.
Awesome.
And, until I retire, then I can say, yo. But right now, I'm still working towards.
Yeah, you don't have any regrets on that because you were taking care of the family. Family comes first, no matter what,
Yes.
And I really respect that. That's something that everybody needs to respect because that's a great and a very, very important thing to do. Oh yeah.
So, Mike, right now you're not in the national team, but you're only 30 years old, playing at a high level. Why is it? Do you consider that you have what it takes to be there in the national team?
I believe, yeah, I have what it takes. At this point, I'm just, working hard, and hopefully I'll have another opportunity, to join the national team again, before it's all said and done. But I feel like, just me being 30 years old, I still have a lot more in the tank. And I'm just waiting on that special moment, and I'm just, keeping myself prepared and ready. And, I'm always ready to go back.
But, do you feel that you are right now one of the best 3-point shooters in the island?
Yeah, of course. I'll say me. No disrespect to any of any of the shooting guards in Puerto Rico, but we all know facts and we all know numbers. So the top 3 shooting guards for me is Davi, me, and Javier Mojica. And then down the line, you can go down the line with everybody else, but that's just my take on how I feel and where I stand and that bunch. And
nice.
Well, Mike, injuries are part of the game. And if you are an athlete, you play basketball, or you play baseball, or you play football, you gotta understand, and people gotta understand that injuries will come and go, just like the wind. But you as an athlete, it's what you will do after you got injured to get ready. What kind of effort you're gonna put on it to put yourself at the highest level and put yourself to be at the top notch, as better as you can be. And even more, so sorry about that, even more, sometimes when you get injured, you got to choose 2 ways, 2 paths. Either you stuck up and cry like a baby and feel bad about it, or you put yourself in a position to succeed and to be better than when you were before. So with that in mind, and I'm asking you as a Pana, as a friend, and I'm asking you as a coach, and I want you to look straight up to that camera and say, you got injured and you couldn't make it to the bubble, but what kind of player is Mike Rosario right now? And what kind of shape is Mike Rosario right now?
I
And
get
what
happy
can
talking
Mike,
about this part.
and what can Mike Rosario do right now?
I get happy talking about this part. No, it's just been a long process for me, man. During the pandemic, you know, we all was in the pandemic together, and you know, we all was waiting for the bubble to come, and we didn't know for sure if they were gonna have it. You know, we didn't know. Everything was just, you know, up in the air. And you know, for the guys that, you know, trained during that time, I commend them so much because nobody understands that part of the preparing part. You not knowing the next thing what's gonna happen. You don't even know if there's gonna be a league, but you're keeping yourself prepared. So I salute all the players that were working during the pandemic for those whole 7 to 9 months. And no, just you know, with me personally, um, wow, it was a big hit for me because you know I was preparing for that moment, um, and I was preparing myself to, you know, just have a big season and get myself back on the track. So after working 9 months and then getting injured and then not being able to play in the bubble, it hit hard. It hit home with me, and I didn't get discouraged. You know, I didn't, you know, get let down. I didn't, you know, my spirits didn't get down on myself. I just continued to, okay, this is the treatment that I need to do in order for me to get back healthy. Then let's get started. And I just, you know, attacked the situation much more harder so I can be 120% healthy right now, which I am. And you know, it just feels good to be back healthy, man. And it was a long process for me, but God is good, and I'm here. I'm 120% healthy, and I'm ready to go.
So if the phone after this interview is over
I think
and
I can tonight.
and the phone rings and they say, "Hey, we need you for X or J team for the FIBA America or something like that." Mike Rosario is ready to go and ready to roll.
Yes, ready,
Nice.
ready, 120% ready.
You got something, OJ?
Obviously, I have maybe two questions that I want to make. This now, just to know what you prefer, MJ or LeBron?
MJ, baby.
Hey,
MJ.
okay,
Michael Jordan. OJ, Michael Jordan for me, he's the best to ever do it. Nobody's never ever gonna change my mind about that.
okay, that's. I got another one. I think this tough one. Carlos Arroyo or Jose Juan Barea? Oh.
Now you're gonna put me on the
No,
spot like
no. You don't have to answer. You don't have to
no,
answer that.
no. I love both, and I enjoy playing with both. And I'm not gonna say one is above the other. They both do everything the way how they're supposed to do. They make everybody around them better, and they made me personally better in my career playing with those guys, and
Nice.
I definitely learned a lot from them too as well. So that's a hard one for me right
No,
there.
I told you this one was a tough one.
I love my guys. I love my two PGs, but I can't choose one.
Well, Mike, do you know your numbers?
From
Your numbers. You know, everybody, every athlete in baseball, you can ask every player, and they will say they will tell you pretty much their numbers when their best season, their worst season, whatever. Do you know your numbers?
no, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, here I'm gonna tell you some numbers. You played one season, 47 games, and you started 38 of them, and you scored that season 16.4 points per game. in roughly 27 minutes. You hit like 45%, 40% on threes, 45% from the field. Mike, even though we are like part of different teams, I encourage you to take that notes, take that numbers that I took to you, to give it to you, put it on a piece of paper and put it in front of in your bathroom in the mirror and look at them each and every day. And I encourage you to put the bar that high, even higher. And hopefully God will give you the strength and will give you the health to put yourself above that because you're still young, my man. You're still a young guy. And I believe that you still got a lot of basketball left in the tank, okay?
Thank
So
you.
the only thing is when you play at a zero, beware, okay? Don't kill us that much, okay?
Maybe one day you will be playing for the Capitanes. I would like to see you playing for the Capitanes. I can say that. I can say that.
I cannot say much, but I encourage you to be good, do good. Critics will come and go, Mike. Critics will come and go, and it's up to us what we do with the critics, with the criticism, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if they come, take it and put it in your favor. You know, use it as fuel to be better, to perform better, and to because you still got a lot of basketball, and hopefully, well, we will see you again in the national team. We're wearing the national colors. If not, we want you to succeed and do still play at a high level. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
Anytime,
you.
brother. Anytime, brother. Oh yeah, you got any more question for Mike?
Yeah, I was. If he has any advice for the youth that are seeing us, can you tell them?
Yeah,
Anyone
that's a
you want to
question that we do to everybody that visit us. Like, you got anything that you can say? Any advice? Everything things that you can say for the people that maybe for the young guys that see Mike Rosario and see themselves in the mirror and say, what things you encourage them to do? You know.
The one thing that I encourage, you guys to do is to really discipline yourself, and meaning, you have to put the work in every day because you can't take no shortcuts in this business. There's no shortcuts because if you're not working, there's 20,000, 20 million other guys out there that want to be in your spot.
Yeah.
So you can't take it for granted. You got to work hard each and every day, and you got to try to stay disciplined and as much just consistent and disciplined on you just getting better as a player in all aspects. Each and every day you have something to work on for 45 minutes to an hour. You can put the work in. There's no excuses because, like I said, if you're not working, there's always someone else is. So you got to always have that in the back of your mind
Awesome.
as an athlete.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there are a couple of people here saying, actually, Kevin is part of us here Inventando con los Panas. He's saying hi to you from Tampa. And our friend Andre is saying, thank Mike for the great year you played with my craps in Santurce.
I said, thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you got anything else for Mike tonight?
Anything else that you feel that you want to say to our followers? So you have the mic for you right now.
No, not much. I just want to say, thank you for you guys having me, and thanks to everyone that tuned in to the live today, and I'm just thankful to have this moment, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Oh yeah. So any words before we leave?
Yes, I'm going in Spanish right now. Gracias, ¿verdad? A Papá Dios, ¿verdad? Porque nos dio la oportunidad de tener a un gran baloncelista y atleta que ha representado a Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? De manera honorable. Siempre damos las gracias a Papá Dios por todas estas oportunidades. Gracias a todos los que nos han acompañado aquí en esta entrevista. Como siempre, gracias, George. Mike, gracias thank you for being here with us. Y nada, de verdad, que tengan una linda noche. Mira, por ahí está Memo Reverón. He said, Mike, keep it working, kid. I don't know if you know Memo Reverón, William Reverón. He played basketball in the BSN a few years ago. A few years ago.
It's been a while. Tell him I said thank you, man. It's been a while since I've seen him. Tell him I said thank you so much, man.
Memo
un abrazo por ahí, Memo, por ahí. Dímelo, oye.
Nada, como siempre, nada. Memo, un abrazo a todos, de verdad, bien agradecido. George, como siempre, un abrazo de lejito. Mike, un abrazo también. Thank you for being here with us. Y que pasen buenas noches.
Claro que sí. Mike, after the credits, don't leave. After we finish the credits, stay with us, okay? We're backstage. Gracias a todos los que se conectaron con nosotros en la noche de hoy. Saludos por ahí a nuestro colaborador Enrique Colón, La Voz. Saludos a todos. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Como siempre, como dice hoy, estamos en todas las plataformas sociales donde nos pueden conseguir en todas las plataformas de podcast. Le agradecemos, ¿verdad?, su colaboración y le pedimos que accesen nuestra página de YouTube, se suscriban a la misma y la compartan. Mike, we are honored it's a great honor. We are blessed to have you with us tonight. Believe me, this is your house. Whatever you need this platform for, whatever reason you need it, just give us a call and you will have it, my man. All right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Anytime, brother. So, de todo corazón le decimos, ¿verdad? Si está camino a su hogar, que lleguen con bien. Buen provecho a los que están cenando. Y no olviden decir a sus seres queridos cuánto los aman, los quieren, lo importante que son para ustedes. Les recordamos que mañana a las 6 de la mañana estaremos en el Morning Edition, dándote la más completa información deportiva. ¿Ok? Any last words, Mike, before we leave?
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Ese que está aquí es Mike Rosario, nuestro invitado. Este que está aquí al lado mío es Oye Marina. Este que te habla es Coach Josh. Deseándote una bonita noche, sueños placenteros y que Papá Dios los bendiga, los llene de bendiciones. Esto fue Oye.
La entrevista al Pana con Mike Rosario.
Se me cuidan.